Hi, everyone. I wanted to give you a demonstration of the flowing sequence of Surya Namaskar. So I'm going to do a couple of rounds, 2 or 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar A, and then move on to some rounds of Surya Namaskar B, so that you have a nice demonstration and practice video for you to work on this flowing sequence. So I'm going to move back to practice space. And as I like to teach in the classes, I always like to begin this flowing sequence with the practice of chanting the Gayatri mantra. Just making sure. Yeah. Om Bhurbhuva Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. Standing in Tadasana. Inhaling, sweep the arms up overhead, bring the palms together at the top and look to your thumbs. Exhaling, spread the arms wide and fold forward, touching the earth at the bottom, Uttanasana. Inhaling, lift halfway up into Urdhva Uttanasana. Hands can go to the legs. Exhaling, bend deep into your knees into a squat. Place the hands shoulder width apart. And then step yourself back to a high push-up position. 1 foot at a time, coming back. High push-up. So you stack the shoulders over the wrists. The legs are straight. The bottom is nice and flowing downward from the shoulders to the heels. Exhaling, the knees will come to the mat and take the tops of the feet onto the mat. Then we bend the elbows, sending them straight back toward the feet. Lower the pelvis, belly, chest, and then the chin. Keep the pubic bone rooted downward. Inhale and begin to lift the chest up off the mat. Then press into the hands and lift your torso up as much as you're able into Bhujangasana. Exhale and roll yourself back down to the mat. Curl your toes under. Press up through your tabletop position. And then lift the hips up to the sky for Adho Mukha Svanasana pose, downward facing dog. In your downward dog, you contract the muscles of the front thighs, spread wide in your fingers and toes. Keep trying to tilt the pelvis so that the pubic bone is moving through the thighs toward the tailbone. The buttock bones at the bottom of the pelvis are lifting up toward the sky. The shoulders are elongated. The torso is pressing back toward the legs. You can also engage Mula Bandha. Then releasing this pose, you inhale and take the gaze forward. Step 1 foot at a time back up to Uttanasana. Exhale and fold down into Uttanasana as much as you're able. Inhale, the arms go to the sides and we guide ourselves all the way back up to Urdhva Hastasana with hands overhead, gazing up at the thumbs. And exhale and lower the hands back down to the heart. I'm going to show it again with a side view. Hands down at your sides for Tadasana. Inhaling, sweep the arms up overhead, bring the palms together at the top, thumbs together. Exhale, forward folding into Uttanasana. Touch the earth. Even if you have to bend your knees, touch the earth. Inhaling, if you have your knees bent, straighten the knees, bring the hands onto the legs. Exhaling, squat down, place the hands shoulder width apart, and then inhaling, step 1 foot at a time back to your high push-up pose. Shoulders stacked over the wrists, feet straight back, pressing out through your heels. Exhaling, drop the knees to the mat and tops of the feet onto the mat. Bending the elbows, sending them straight back towards your feet. Lower the pelvis, belly, chest, and chin. Inhaling, root the pubic bone to the mat as you lift the chest off the mat. Then press through the hands and arms and lift up into Bhujangasana as much as you're able while keeping the pubic bone grounded. Exhale and float back down. Curl the toes under, lift yourself up through your tabletop pose. Then lift the hips, straightening the knees, moving into your Adho Mukha Svanasana pose. Downward facing dog. Nice few breaths here in downward dog. Straightening the knees, opening up through the backs of the knees, lengthening through the hamstrings and calves, lengthening the spine, aligning the ears alongside the upper arm bones. Inhaling now, the gaze will go forward. Step both feet up to Uttanasana. With your exhale, float down into that forward fold as much as you're able. Press through the feet and the legs, spread the arms to the sides. Inhale and rise all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana, hands together at the top, looking at the thumbs, and then exhaling. Float the hands back down to your heart. Okay, so I'm going to take it through a little quicker so that you can see a little bit more like how it flows with your regular Ujjayi pranayama. Okay, so standing in Tadasana. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale and forward fold. Inhaling Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, place the palms and step to high push-up. Exhaling, lower the knees and tops of the feet, lower the pelvis, belly, chest, and chin. Inhaling, lifting up into Bhujangasana. Exhale, release back to the floor. Inhaling, curling the toes under, lifting up through tabletop and into Adho Mukha Svanasana for a few breaths. 3 to 5 long, deep Ujjayi pranayama breaths here in your downward dog as you pause. Inhaling, take the gaze forward, and then we step our feet back up to Uttanasana. Exhaling, forward folding as much as you're able. Inhale, arms go to the sides. We lift from the fulcrum of the hips all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, lower the hands back down to Anjali Mudra. Okay, so that's our Surya Namaskar A. So for those of you that want to stay there at that practice for a while, that's perfectly fine. If you want to take your practice a little bit farther, a little more vigorous, a little more energy, you can move on to the next variation, which is Surya Namaskar B, which adds Warrior 1 or Virabhadrasana 1 posture on each side into the flowing sequence of Surya Namaskar B. So I'll go ahead and kind of slowly demonstrate that for you, and then we'll pick up the pace for practice. So we begin like we did in Surya Namaskar A with our hands in Anjali Mudra. With an exhale, the arms lower down to Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up and come into Utkatasana. Squatting down, arms rise. Inhale, straighten the legs, and then swan dive into Uttanasana, touching the earth, even if you have to bend your knees. Inhaling, lifting halfway up with legs straight, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, squat down, place the hands shoulder width apart, and then step back to your high push-up pose. Exhaling, drop the knees and tops of the feet to the mat. Bend the elbows, lowering down pelvis, belly, chest, and chin. Inhale, press the pubic bone down as you lift the chest and rise up into Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower back down. Curl the toes under. Inhale as you rise up through your tabletop. And then once again, lifting the hips, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now, here's where we add the warrior poses. Turn your left toes out just slightly so they face the left front corner of your yoga mat. Inhale as you step your right foot up to the inside of your right wrist. Press down into the outer edge of your left heel and the base of your right big toe. Inhale as you lift the torso and the arms up for Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale and lower your arms back down. Inhale as you step your right foot back to your high push-up, and then lower the knees and tops of the feet to the mat. Bend the elbows, lowering your pelvis, belly, chest, and chin. Inhale as you press the pubic bone down, lift the chest, and press into the hands, lifting up as much as you're able into Bhujangasana or Cobra. Exhale and release back down again. Curl the toes under, lift up through tabletop, and then hips rise up into the sky, Adho Mukha Svanasana, to the second time. Now we'll turn the right toes out slightly. Step the left foot up to the inside of the left wrist. Press down into the outer edge of your right heel and into the base of the left big toe. Then inhale as you lift the torso and the arms to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower the hands back down again, and then step that left foot back to your high push-up pose once again. Lower the knees, tops of the feet. Bend your elbows as you lower the pelvis, belly, chest, and chin. Press the pubic bone to the earth as you lift the chest, and then maybe lift the belly, Bhujangasana, and then exhale and lower back down again. Curl the toes under, lift up through tabletop. And then your hips rise to the sky once again, Adho Mukha Svanasana, and this time we'll stay for that 3 to 5 Ujjayi Pranayama breaths. When we rest in Adho Mukha Svanasana, we are refining the posture breath by breath, rooting down through those spread out fingers and toes, engaging the front thigh muscles, pulling the shoulder blades down the back body toward the pelvis and wrapping the bottom tips of the shoulder blades in toward the spine. Keep moving the torso further and further back toward the legs as we lift the buttock bones toward the sky and engage Mula Bandha. To release this, we take the gaze forward on an inhalation. Step the feet back up to Uttanasana. Exhaling, fold down into your forward fold. Inhaling, bend deep into the knees, sweep the arms around and up, lifting into Utkatasana. Then inhale, straighten through the legs and lower the hands to Anjali Mudra. All right, so that's the full Surya Namaskar B. I'm going to turn again and demonstrate it from the side view for you. And then we'll do a third round of it, picking up the pace a little bit so that you can feel how the sequence moves with a regular flowing Ujjayi pranayama. All right, I'm just going to straighten my mat a little bit. All right, so standing in Tadasana. With your inhalation, bend deep into the knees. Squat down and sweep the arms up overhead. Utkatasana. Inhale, straighten the legs and swan dive forward into Uttanasana. Inhaling, lift halfway up for Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, bend deep in the knees and place the hands shoulder width apart. Inhaling, stepping back to your high push-up. Exhale, take the knees and tops of the feet to the mat. Bend those elbows, lowering the torso all the way down to the mat. Inhale, anchor the pubic bone, lifting into Bhujangasana. Keep the pubic bone anchored as you rise up. Exhale, lower, back down again. Curl the toes under, lift up through tabletop. Lift the hips to the sky, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Turn the left toes out just a little bit, 10% turn out. My dog has to get in on the action. And then we inhale as we step the right foot up to the inside of the right wrist. Pressing down to the outer edge of the left heel and the base of the right big toe to anchor. Inhale, lift up, and the arms will rise. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhaling, lower those hands back down again. Step the right foot back to our high push-up. Exhaling, take the knees and tops of the feet down to the mat. Bend your elbows as you lower the pelvis, belly, chest, and chin. Anchor the pubic bone to the earth. Press up into Bhujangasana. Exhale and release back down again. Curl the toes under. On the inhale, lift up through tabletop. And then hips rise to the sky. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now we turn the right toes out just slightly. Step the left foot up to the inside of the left wrist. Press down to the outer edge of your right heel and the base of the left big toe to anchor yourself. Inhale and lift yourself. Torso rises, arms rise. Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, arms go back down to the mat, shoulder width apart. Step the left foot back to high, push up, and then release the knees and tops of the feet. Lowering down, elbows go straight back towards your feet. Anchor the pubic bone, lifting into Bhujangasana, only as high as your body is able. And then release back down. Curl the toes under, lift up through your tabletop pose. And then hips will rise up into Adho Mukha Svanasana pose. And breathe here for those 3 to 5 Ujjayi pranayama breaths. Again, refining the posture breath by breath. Keep anchoring through your anchors, the bases of all fingers and toes. Stretch the heels down toward the earth or into the earth. The The backs of the knees stretching open, the quadriceps engaged. Shoulder blades drawing toward the pelvis. Inhaling, look to the front of the mat, and then we step our feet back up to Uttanasana. Exhaling, releasing down into the forward fold as much as you are able. Inhale, deep squat. The arms sweep out to the sides, around and up for Utkatasana. And then exhaling as we straighten the legs, and the hands will return to Anjali Mudra. Okay, so those are the demonstrations in both angles. And now we'll run through it at the pace of a nice Ujjayi pranayama. Okay, so once again, beginning in Tadasana. Inhaling to Utkatasana. Exhale, straighten the legs and float forward into Uttanasana, touching the earth. Inhale, Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, the knees bend, place the palms, stepping back, high plank. Exhaling, knees and tops of the feet come down, lower all the way to the mat. Bhujangasana, inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Toes curl under, rise through tabletop. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left toes turn out. Inhale, step the right foot up. And up we come, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands come back down. Inhale, step that foot back to high plank. Exhale, knees, tops of the feet come down, lower the torso, belly, chest, and chin. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, lifting through tabletop to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right toes turn out, left foot comes up. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands come back down. Step the left foot back to high plank. Lower the knees, tops of the feet. Exhaling as we lower to the torso, all the way to the floor. Inhaling, rising up, Bhujangasana. Exhaling, control it back down. Toes curl under, lift through tabletop. Adho Mukha Svanasana for 3 to 5 Ujjayi pranayama breaths. Nice, slow, deep breath. Refining the posture, engaging Mula Bandha if you can. Keep sending those shoulder blades down toward the pelvis. Engaging the front thigh muscles. And then inhaling, take the gaze forward, step the feet back up to Uttanasana. Exhaling, release into that forward fold. Inhale, bend deep into the squat, sweep the arms around and up for Utkatasana. Inhaling, straightening through the legs, lower the hands to the heart for Anjali Mudra. Okay, well, hopefully you found that series helpful for your practice. And I wish you all the best. Namaste.